What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Life You Have with Tez, the show where I give tips on how to improve your life through simple techniques that anybody can use to do great things with their life. Be great. Anyway, today we're going to talk about more ridiculous money-saving advice. Now, I handpicked these ones fresh off the internet because, let's face it, sometimes I run out of ideas. With that said, let's get started. Number one, ask for a military discount. A lot of people, myself included, you use this weird flex. You go to a place and you say, hey, do you have a military discount? The worst they can say is no. Once you get it out there, then, no harm, no foul right there. But if they say yes, chances are it's a 10% discount. When I got out the Army and I was a manager of a restaurant, somebody tried to use it on me. And when I told him, no, we don't have one, he tried to go off on a rant on me. And I was like, hey, wait a minute, I'm a veteran too, just like you. And he's trying to tell me I wasn't. I'm like, well, that's why you don't get a discount. A couple of restaurants and chains will actually give you the discount if you're in uniform and you can probably prove that you're, a service member of some sort or a veteran or whatever. Like KFC has the EMS, police, fire, and military discount where you can go there. And as long as you're in uniform, you get your 10% off. Even if you're in the drive-thru and you come through, then you will get 10% off of whatever it is. Like they'll quote you as one thing, and then when you actually pay, you will get a discount from there. Also at Home Depot, you can get 10% off from your final purchase. So that's why there's a good reason to go to Home Depot as long as you show them your military ID. If you don't ask for it, they ain't gonna even suggest it to you. Also, Veterans Day. Veterans Day has military.com puts out who's gonna participate in your area for it. Now I know like Sheets and things like that. I'm not even gonna lie, me and my wife, because she's a veteran, we go into Sheets and we get our free turkey sandwich. But some people are extreme with it. Some people will go to Applebee's and they will eat there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The lines are wrapped around that restaurant. Just saying, military has its perks, but that's not one that I would always rely on because, unless you're hard up strapped, sometimes, it's just not worth the hassle. But sometimes if you frequent a restaurant, you keep going there, then, why not? Better to ask. Number two, shower at the gym. Now, okay, before the pandemic, people used to go into the gym. They used to take a shower in there. So imagine you're on a road trip, you're traveling cross country or whatever, and you are a member of a gym like Planet Fitness, Crunch, and all this. You go in there before you head to Walmart to park because you're a cheapskate, such as myself. I refuse to pay for a hotel room if I can park at a Walmart. It has cameras. Anyway, I digress. You can go and get a shower at the gym and then go on and go to sleep at Walmart's parking lot stuff. Now, story, I used to be stationed at Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland, and one of the things that we had to do, so everybody would just shower at the gym and then just come in to work because you were not going to make it back home because it was about a 30-minute trip back to the other side of post. And I know because sometimes I would leave a t-shirt for my uniform. How do I risk this? So if you didn't bring extras, you were out of luck, okay? So yeah, showering at the gym could save your life. It could save you time. Hopefully when this pandemic stuff, COVID-19 is all over, you can go back to being a cheapskate at the gym that you already paid for anyway as a membership. Number three, dumpster diving. So some frugal people, they don't really have regards for personal hygiene and other people's space. I get it. You do you. What this is you jump into a dumpster and you look for stuff. Now, some people have said sometimes you don't have to jump in the dumpsters because college students, for one, they will just throw out stuff because they can't take it with them. They might buy a 55-inch TV or something like that. They're going to graduate. They can't take it with them because they don't have a car or they don't have like trucks like that. You depend on where you go. Most of them times they might just have average, normal economy cars. They can't fit a 55-inch TV in there, blankets, all that stuff. So they just throw it out. And a lot of people wait for the graduating class and then they just go because it becomes public property at that point. I have never done that before, but I have seen people on YouTube actually go to hotels that were throwing away furniture and stuff because every couple of years or so they have to change out their furniture and stuff, beds and all that, and they get rid of them. And some people are just enterprising enough to go and get them, put them in a storage container, and then they sell them to other people online. So, that's actually not that bad of a deal if you can catch it at the right spot. But there are people who will dumpster dive, like literally. I've seen videos where people are in like New York City They actually jump inside of dumpsters, or they wait for people's fresh trash to come out because they're like, oh man, some people just throw away half-eaten burgers. Nobody knows why, and they just throw it away. And they literally will go in and eat somebody's half-eaten food. And then there's the morally ambiguous area of dumpster diving, such as waiting for somebody to get evicted and then taking their stuff. I've been evicted most of my young life. Sometimes my dad or something would get sick and then we get our stuff thrown out of the house. So people would get there before I did. They took my Dreamcast, my PlayStation, a couple of mangas. What do you take mangas for, you know? But whatever. I remember, like, you know, people just taking my stuff before I got there, but there's nothing that you can do. And then one time somebody just drove by and they were just laughing at it. And I'm like, I hope your check engine light comes on. And number 4, save your dog hair. Now this one, I would have never thought. I saw it on the internet. Therefore, it must be weird enough to be true. I have a golden doodle. Y'all seen him. His name is Hank. He doesn't have fur, he has hair. So that means if you don't keep him groomed, then he's just gonna be a big ball of fur. You have to shave him like a sheep. Actually keep that hair, apparently, and you can turn that into like plush stuff. I've seen it. So there's somebody on Etsy, I'm not knocking their hustle, but somebody on Etsy actually makes cat and dog hair, you know, trinkets and stuff, like plushies and that sort of thing. So you can actually knit with it. It's kind of creepy. You know what? On to the next one. Okay. Top off with condiments. Okay, so this one, I've always thought about it, but I've never actually done it. Apparently, asking for, you know, ketchups and mustards, or not even asking for them, because places like Burger King and McDonald's, they just keep them out for you. So you could just take a big handful, put them in a bag, and then, you know, take them home and rip, squirt, until you fill up your ketchup bottle or mustard bottle or anything. That reminds me when back in 2008 when we had the recession, people would go into McDonald's because they had the $1 sweet teas, and people would go in, you get this big cup, and it was like that big, and then people wouldn't even drink the sweet tea. They would go to the drink thing and they would just fill it up with Sprite and all that stuff. So it wasn't the $1 soda thing. Then I saw some people bringing in like milk jugs and stuff and filling up milk jugs with the sweet tea. So yeah, they started implementing people standing at the soda machines and all that stuff because it became such a big deal. But it's a pretty cheap thing, and you're gonna actually have to take a lot of condiments and stuff. Fun fact, when I was at Fort Lee for training, when I was moving in, I just saw a bag full of ranch from Burger King and chicken sauce. Here's a bonus tip for you. All right, cut your own hair. Now, this one doesn't work for me, but some people are just gifted with the clip, if you know what I mean. Some people just have that power to, you know, shear up themselves. I do not. I tried to give it to my wife, and I didn't like what she did to me. So I decided no, I'm only gonna trust the ones with the certificates on the wall, unless they're a really old man, because one time when I was recruiting, it looked ridiculous. So yeah, you could save a lot of money because I tip big. I'm a big tipper. If you give me a good haircut, you're gonna get a big tip. But yeah, you could save a lot of money, especially in the military. You need to have one at least once a week, unless you get one that's so good you can pass off for 2 weeks, but even still, like the average for me is about $20 every 2 weeks. So all right, bonus number 2. This one is quite disgusting, but leave the pee in the toilet. Okay, I'm really not a fan of this one, but they say if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Okay, so anyway, my kids must take that one to heart, because you don't want to do that. Like, it might save water, but that stench is gonna be there forever, and sometimes it gets encased depending on what type of material. If you're in an older house, your toilet might be made of a more porous material that just holds on to that odor, and yeah, it smells bad. It's a really bad smell. I would say just flush your toilet. There's energy efficient and water efficient toilets out nowadays. You don't have to leave pee in the toilet, come back to it later, poop in it, then flush it. But I've seen people do it, and especially when you have to conserve water, you're under conserve water warning. But even still, I just go to a restaurant or something if I gotta, or go outside, to be honest, just pee against the wall. But there's other ways to save. You could put a brick in the where the water goes, you know, that comes from. I don't know what that area is called behind the toilet, but you put a brick in it, it'll raise the water levels. But yeah, just flush your pee and your poop. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna be that bad. But like I said, if you live in an older house, you're gonna pay for it if you try to be cheap. But anyway, there's more resources for you, like here and here, maybe right here, and there's probably my face like somewhere right there. So keep going. If you like what you see, go ahead and click on another one for me.